Welcome to the One Mission Nutrition Podcast. This is a podcast all about entrepreneurs, new business people trying to learn how to become better businessmen. It's not just that. We're trying to help everybody out, become better people just in general. I'd like to introduce my guest. I got Danny Martinez here with Martinez Fit Group. He has one hell of a story of what happened in 1 year. Like, he's a hell of a guy. I met him, a couple months ago back in Arizona at an Andy Elliott seminar, and been a great guy. I'll go ahead and let you take it from here and introduce yourself.
Hey, I appreciate you. I don't know if your guests know, but I'm the guy who lost 200 pounds, and so in one entire year. And so I met you. Yeah, I was at Andy's event. Just to give you a little bit of background, I really appreciate you getting me on your show, man. One Mission Nutrition has been there with me, has been encouraging me throughout the way. You've been there, and I love everything that you do. Everything that you do is about encouraging people, making sure that you're being positive, and that's all that we're about at Martinez Fit. And so that you know a little bit about me, like I said, 200 pounds. I was 430 pounds at the beginning of 2022. And this isn't something of like, hey man, like he was skinny and then he lost and then he gained a bunch of weight and then he's looking to lose weight again. Nah, I've been fat my entire life since I was a little kid, man. It started when my grandma would force feed me papa rellena, a Cuban dish. She'd be force feeding me papa rellena, and I didn't want to make grandma feel bad. So you know what Danny did? Danny threw up in the bathroom and was like, oh, like, let me go eat some more. I made grandma so happy. So Danny would just eat. And grandma, she just loved throwing stuff at Danny's way, right? So Danny grew up a big boy his entire life. And so I joined the military when I was a little bit younger. That's where I met my wife over 20 years ago. Been married for 20 years. But in the military, I had lost a little bit of weight, but I was still always that fat guy. I was still always that guy that no matter what, you always knew he was at the end of formation. You know what I'm saying? You always knew that when it came down to push-ups, it was always Danny in the corner, like trying to rep out his last one. You know, I was always the big boy, always the cooking guy. So that was me. And so I went in the military. I lost a little bit of weight. I got down to I think I got down to 265. Like that was the lowest I had ever gotten in my entire life. And I thought I had arrived, right? Well, come to find out, horrible knee injury in the military, and my wife just pushed me to do more. She was like, hey, you've been wanting to go to culinary school your entire life. Let's just do it, right? You did the military thing, you injured your knee, let's do something big. So she pushed me to go to culinary school. Well, that didn't help the belt line any. You know what I'm saying? That didn't help the waist any. I just put on way, way, way more weight. I learned what foie gras was. I learned how to cook with duck fat. Every single day was like a new cuisine. We would have a week of Korea, and bulgogi was on my list. I was going to get down on some of the bulgogi. I was going to make sure that I learned how to do that at the end of the day. And so I was just eating constantly. And so I had gotten up. I ballooned up to 330 at this point. And I was extraordinarily miserable. My wife was still kind of pushing me. And at that time, my son was diagnosed with autism. And so when he was diagnosed with autism, it was a wake-up call. It was I'm doing this chefy thing, and I'm working with a really big celebrity chef in New Orleans. That's where I'm originally from. And he just looked at me and was like, dude, you need to be doing something else. He's like, you're smarter than this. I'm just telling you what he told me. He's like, you're smart. You can do something else. You can do more. And so I was like, okay. I was like, honey, I'm done with culinary school. It's just doing nothing but negative. I'm putting weight on. Obviously, I've learned some great stuff. But let's do something more. Let's do something more. And so my wife was like, all right, she applied to every school in the United States and was like, let's get you into a school. And so she got me into Radford University. And so I took that time and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna maximize it. And so I took a 4-year degree and I did it in 2.5 years in a political science degree. I graduated with a 4.0. I ended up getting Dean Scholar there. And I started realizing the military and everything that I had from my youth built this resiliency, this kind of grit that I had inside of me. I just didn't apply it when it came to fitness. I didn't apply it when it came to anything else. I started to learn how to apply it when it came to academics right then and there because I'm not the smartest, light bulb in the tanning bed, you know what I'm saying? I'm not, but at the same time, I'm starting to learn how to apply some of these things. And so at Radford, I graduated. My wife said, what else do you want to do? let's get into something else. And so I applied to law school. I was like, I wanted to be a lawyer when I was young. Kid from the ghetto, like, wouldn't that be a great story? I could be a lawyer. All I wanted to do is help people. That's everything I ever set up in my entire life has been to help people. When I was younger, my wife was like, do you want to be a football coach? Like, you're obviously hanging around all these football coaches, like trying to mentor these kids and help them. Like, there's something about you that's always been helping people. And so I thought law school was it, man. I was going to go to law school and this was going to be my end all be all. I was going to go ahead and I was just going to help the world out of law school. Come to find out, Danny went to law school. He went to an amazing law school, the University of Tennessee College of Law, which is a top 30 law school. Didn't think this ghetto kid could ever get there, right? Wife pushing him the whole time, learning this grit, learning this resiliency, get to law school. And I'm like, here we go. I'm going to help people. Granted, first year of law school, it was hard, man. I mean, a ghetto kid, like, I did not do well that first year, but I learned something there. I said, you know what? No matter what, at the end of the day, you can't give up. And so I came back my second year, and I was literally the top student in my second year. I got a scholarship because I was literally the bottom in my first, right? A shelter shock. I was shocked. I didn't know what was going on. Law school, these professors are talking in this language, and I'm like, what is Socrates? What is the Socratic? What? So I didn't do well my first year, but guess what? Second year, Danny came in and knocked it out. But the whole time I was putting on weight. The entire time I was just studying constantly. Weight. This point, I'm sitting at like 350. I'm graduating law school. I'm a big boy. And I'm going out into the world and realizing, like, dude, it's hard to like meet with clients and do different things. And then I started to realize that when you come out of law school, you're given kind of the worst jobs right out of law school. You're not necessarily you're not thrown into trial. I know you watch A Few Good Men and you're like, oh, I can't wait to Tom Cruise the shit out of this. Sorry, Tom Cruise the heck out of this, and you go in thinking that. But in the end, what ended up happening was I was the money collector, man. Like, I had to go out and like go collect money and take money from people. And there were instances, and I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus, but there are instances where you're just meeting with a client and you're trying to get that business and you're telling them like, hey, I got you, like your family, I got you, take care of you. And then when you get that file and you get that business and you put it away for 8 months and you tell your people like, oh, that's going to go on the shelf. Statute of limitations is 12 months. Yeah, but you just told that person, like, you're going to give them your all. Like, you just told that like, this is why I got into this business. Like, this is why I went to law school, and we're not going to get into it. Like, you just got me hyped up. Like, what was, no, it was like, it was push everything back. It was always push everything back and try to get as much business as possible. And I walked away helping absolutely no one, and I was lost. I was just like, I had no idea what to do. And so my wife's like, dude, you've been doing this MMA thing, working with MMA fighters. I had someone reach out to me and was like, dude, you're doing contracts. Like, can you help me? And so I was like, dude, I'll be a sports agent. Forget it. My wife was going to back me. I was like, so I got into the UFC. I got an amazing roster of fighters. It was nuts. That time frame of my life, it was crazy. There's times in your life where you think like, man, I made it. You know what I mean? Like, this is it. I can see the horizon. Like, the millions is there. Everything's there. And that was one of them. And then COVID happened, man. And it literally shut down everything. There was no more travel, even though Dana was doing everything he could to keep the UFC going. And Dana's an amazing human being on a different level. Like, knowing him on a different level, he's an amazing person. But when it came down to it, the UFC thing was not working out. I was trying to do everything remote, but it was so difficult to like just get people and talk to them and make them feel like you're family and like you're there with them when you're not in their training camp. When you're trying to set up their training camp and they don't see, you send them to Black House because you think, okay, that's a great camp, and you don't see that they're getting their butt whooped every day. You're not there helping them. You're not there doing the things you need to do to be a good agent. And so I realized then, I was like, dude, I can't do this. I'm done. Guess what? I put on an additional 100 pounds. Pizza was my friend. You know what I'm saying? I found comfort in pizza. And then we had Alidio's Pizza in Knoxville. Shout out, amazing place. Man, I went there every single day, dog. It was like a whole pizza was nothing. They looked at me and was like, you're not going to get the double special? I was like, nah, just me, dog, just me. Just give me the one extra large pizza just for me. Family ain't coming this time. You know what I mean? Like, they knew me. So at the end of the day, I was super depressed, gained all that weight. My relationship with my wife, terrible. A relationship that I can't even believe that I allowed to get that bad, because I allowed myself to get so in the mud, so in a hole that I allowed something that was 15 years at that point, that was like solid, to even shake a little bit. Like, shame on me, you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, that this depression, weight loss, and so that gets me into where I'm doing now. So in 2022, I've been fat my whole life, right? So at this point, I gained an additional 100 pounds because sports agent thing ain't working out for Danny at all. Danny's got a law degree, and he's like, I don't want to do law because that's weird, taking money from old ladies, and I can't do that stuff, man. I can't do that. So Danny's lost, and my wife is a nurse, and she's like, look, man, I'm gonna travel nurse. And at this point, a company had approached me who was doing like capping services and had said, look, you have all these great relationships with fighters, like, why don't you just cap MMA? Like, you can talk to different people and get some information and see like what's going on and sort of help out people. And obviously, like, in my write-ups, I'd never put any really solid information. Like, if I found out like a friend of mine had an injury or something, it would never be in there. But like in the write-up, it'd be like, man, maybe you stay away from this bet. Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if someone's injured or not, but why don't we just stay away? Sorry.
You're gonna have to rewind a little bit. I got right in the middle of that.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Nope, you're good. We can go right back into it.
What part? Like, where'd you get me? Where'd you not get me?
So you were going in about. It was about 5 seconds is all I missed.
Oh, okay.
So.
No problem. My assistant. Where was I? Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so I think we're good. So we'll go in. So the fighter thing. Okay, so we were in the MMA part, right?
The service cappers direct.
Oh yeah. So the handicapping service. Okay. So at this point, the handicapping service had come to me a little bit earlier, like right after COVID happened. I was like, dude, why don't you just do these write-ups for us? You already have these relationships with these fighters. And I would never ever give it. So if I knew, like, let's say I knew somebody was possibly injured, I would never throw that in the write-up. But instead, I would be like, hey, why don't we just stay away from that fight? You know what I mean? Or, hey, why don't we just not bet on that one? I know he's a crazy favorite, but why don't we just not bet on that one just in case? You know what I'm saying? So I was doing 20-page write-ups. Obviously, I come from that law school background, so writing briefs and stuff like that, while it's not my passion, I hate doing it, it's something that I can do, right? It's something that I was taught how to do. So I would do all these write-ups, and people would make a ton of money, and then I would have like the bad week. You know, it just happens where no matter what, you have the best information, and guess what? Your guy gets knocked out in the first round for no reason. It's like, oh, what? Like, this dude never been knocked out before. Like, wait, he was winning the fight. And then people are like, dude, I'm going to kill your wife. I'm going to kill your daughter. I'm like, whoa. This is the first week you signed up. Like, you didn't sign up the other weeks where people were making like 10K, where people were making 25K. Like, but so I was encountering a lot of that. And so not really fulfilled in my life. And so I was just gaining more weight. I was just the depression of like, I would have really great weeks, but really great weeks were rewarded with pizza. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, dog, you did great this week. We made a cake, you know, no problem. Let's eat a pizza. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, guy, on me, on Poppy tonight. You know what I'm saying? That would be my approach. But then what would happen? Bad night would happen. Order pizza. It's a bad night. It's a bad night, right? So that constant thing of just that profession and that stress and kind of my horrible mindset, that reward system that I created for myself when I was young. I was a young kid, dude, that was watching wrestling, making sure he had his pudding cups lined up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I made sure my pudding cups, and when Hulk came on, it was pudding time. You know what I'm saying? Like I made sure, you know, it was NWO time, Shawn Michaels. I was that kid. You know, I was that fat kid that, like, when it came down to food, I knew how to do food. So that year, man, of just handicapping, doing those things, going through that stress, man, I ballooned up to 430 pounds without even knowing it. I went to Vegas with a friend, and we walked around, and I think we clocked in at like 10 miles. I thought I was going to die. My legs had they were swollen. My hands had swollen. I was like, I had stopped, and I realized at that point, like, I'm a liability to my friends too. Like, as they're doing this, they're not enjoying themselves in Vegas. Like they're supposed to be having a great time. My wife and my kids are supposed to be having a great time, but instead they're worrying about the fat guy who's almost dead, you know, 10 feet behind them, who's like water, and water's like $10 a bottle. You know what I'm saying? I'm $50 down for the day, and I just took 10 steps. You know what I'm saying? Like life wasn't great. And so I realized then, I said, you know what I do every year, 2023, I took the picture, right? I took the day one picture. I was like, this is my year. Both my kids were like, okay. But my wife was like, sure. Okay, again, sure. And so I took that year and I told my wife, I said, look, I'm going to continue doing the handicapping thing, but I'm going to take a step back. I'm not going to be betting. I'm not going to be doing the extra things, right? I'm going to just do the MMA stuff, the stuff I know. And I want to take the year and just try to lose this weight, man. And my wife's best thing ever, right? Like literally 20 years, ride or die, right? She sat there and she was like, dude, I got you. Like, I'll take us on for this year. My travel contract, I make good money. I'll take us on for this year. No problem. I got you. We'll live a little different. No problem. Gotcha. I was extraordinarily grateful. And then at that point, it put pressure on me. And then I put additional pressure. That couple that person I went with, that friend I went with in Vegas, I said, you know what? I'm not going to put anything out. I'm just going to try to lose all this weight. And I'm going to do it. And I'm going to show my friends. And I'm going to show my wife. And I'm going to keep myself accountable. I'm going to do it, right? Well, as my wife is going along and she's like, guess what? You have the time now. I'm giving you the time. Pressure, pressure, pressure. And so my first 3 months, I made every mistake in the book. Like, I made every mistake. I had all protein, only protein. I was eating salads thinking, oh, this is healthy, right? Ranch dressing was just, you know what I'm saying? I was just fat bomb after, I didn't know what I was doing. And so I made so many mistakes. And so in March, I had lost like 30 pounds because I had the good habit I had started was going to the gym, right? So I had started that. I had started losing the weight. And in March is my birthday time. When we talk a little bit about what Martinez Fit is and everything, you'll see. But in my journey, March was like a big month because that's the month I sort of was like, is it time to quit? Like, am I going to quit this thing or am I going to keep going? Like, I've had a tough time. This sucks. Like, I'm struggling at 4:30, working out like crazy. I'm eating. I don't know what I'm doing eating. I'm not winning. You know what I'm saying? I'm losing at this battle. I know I'm losing. It's March and I'm still losing. This sucks. And I almost quit. And so that's when I started to, my wife said, don't quit, give it another month or two. Like, give it 6 months. Like, she was just pushing me. I literally took a picture after I had lost like 45, it was like 50 pounds. Like, I had arrived. Like, I was like, and dude, everything was hanging over and it was just not good. It was just not, and me, I was just so proud. I was like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, if you look at the face compared to the body, you're like, that does not match, man. Like, you should not be that happy, dog. You should go on a run. What are you doing? But it was then where I was like, I want to quit. Like, I don't know what I'm not doing it right. At that point, I was like, I'd lost 50 pounds. That's pretty good, right? I mean, that's great. And so I thought, I'm good. And so it was then where I leaned on Andy Elliott and a few different videos like that, a few different people. And it was Andy's videos. You have to understand, when it comes down to the way Andy speaks and stuff, like, I had come from that military background. So I respond well to people that kind of give it to me in that manner. And I actually, for someone to mentor me, I think they kind of need to have that kind of about them, And so when I stumbled, I didn't even know he did sales. I didn't even know he was a car salesman. I literally stumbled on Andy because, like, I needed the motivation. I needed someone that could speak to me on a level that was like, what are you doing? Like, could remind me, like, you're doing this for your family, dude. Like, what are you doing? Don't they deserve more? What has your wife been through? And then you start thinking, 19 years at that point of, like, all this support constantly. I can't quit. I can't give up. And it was Andy who motivated me to keep going. But it was at that time where I started really honing in on figuring out my nutrition. And so at the end of the day, I realized that I was just doing things completely the wrong way. And so at the middle of 2023 is when you can really start to see in my journey, you can start to see, like, dude, something happened to him, like, in the middle. Like he was like fat for 6 months. And then month 7, like, dude, you're melting. Like, what's going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. It was like frozen up in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was nuts. And so I'm sitting there and I realized then that, dude, you went to culinary school. Like, you know how to cook. You can cook your ass off when it comes down to anything. Yeah. Why don't you start cooking when it comes down to your nutrition, right? Why don't you start applying everything that, and so I started applying everything in about at the middle of the year. The whole journey is important. And I think that's the thing is like my mistakes are important. I had to make those mistakes. I had to realize what I've now created. And so we can get into it a little bit. At the end of 2023, I had lost 200 pounds. I have come up with a system that is unbreakable, undeniable, that encompasses physicality, it encompasses your physical fitness, it encompasses your mentality. Like one of the biggest portions of being Martinez Fit and doing what we do is like you have to be mentally there. You have to be mentally positive. You can't be a person that's negative all the time and sitting there and being like, yeah, I'm 430 pounds, I'm gonna lose all this weight. Guess what? I hate life. I hate the gym. I hate my wife. I hate my kids. I hate everything. You can't be that person. You can't be this negative person and expect to lose weight. So there's a mental portion that I realized in 2023 that was necessary that a lot of people are missing. And then we have a nutrition portion as well. And we can get into it a little bit more, but the nutrition portion, man, I get down and dirty. There's kids on our app, and that's sort of what we're getting into is like we've launched our app. We just did that in like a couple days ago with Andy and everybody else. You can see the commercials online. But inside of our app, we have our nutrition portion where I have 16-year-olds who don't know how to cook, who are in my app learning how to cook eggs, who are in my app learning how, oh, this is how you cook French eggs, like this is how you do it versus how to cook egg whites. Some guys didn't even know how to meal prep anything. And I'm showing them how to meal prep. So in the app, we've created a 1-year living app. And just for your audience to know, it's $299. Part of it is like, yeah, it's expensive, right? But literally, we have the #1 system and the value that's packed in there. We have over $5,000 worth of value, over 100 videos explaining the ins and outs of diet, the ins and outs of mentality, the ins and outs of how to actually work out the way I did. And I have programs in there to do the extreme program. I'm putting my wife through it now. We got leg day today, baby. She can barely walk from the last leg day, but she was determined. She was like, no, I want to do what you did. So that program is in there for people that if they want to see what Danny did, hey, they can see it. But I've also built other programs because I have other customers. I have people that are like 80 years old that are like inspired by my story. That's like, dude, I just want you to fix my nutrition and I want you to give me a few things to do. And so I get in there with them. Like there's this one guy, he's amazing. We got a weighted vest for him and he loves to garden. Dude, he's thriving now. A guy that was just like, he was just, man, you could just see him like I don't want to say like on the way out, you know what I mean? But you could just tell like he just wasn't doing his best. Now just walking around being like, yeah, look at the definition. It's like, yeah, dude, you got it. Like, let's go, baby, let's go. Oh. So I've just realized that my transformation has inspired a lot of people and there's a lot of good things in there. But what makes our program completely different is we are all about cracking your code. So when you go to like this whole thing is like 2023 was the year that I cracked my code. Everybody's got a specific code. I could give you my diet. You can probably do amazing on my diet. You'll probably look amazing on my diet. But the thing is that going to be the diet that keeps you on for the rest of your life? Is that going to be what makes you happy? Are you going to be happy eating the things that I love to eat? Oh. Why don't we make it to where the things you love to eat are now incorporated into your diet, right? Everybody's got a code. What makes what makes my program completely different is that while everybody has a code, it's about cracking your own code, helping them crack my code. So through my journey, I show people how I crack my code. I tell people all the ins and outs of what I did incorrectly. I break down protein. We break down everything when it comes down to carbohydrates, fats. There's people that think I don't eat rice. Baby, I eat a lot of rice. Every day I eat a lot of rice. I eat a lot of rice to lose 200 pounds. Carbs are important. You know what I mean? So we have that in there and we explain everything inside of the app. But yeah, man, that's what we have is that blueprint. But at the end of the day, it's about making sure people can see how I crack my code and then they begin to crack their own code through that. Because I tell them like in this, like, hey, this is how I did it. But there are other ways. Here are 4 or 5 different other ways to do it. But this is how I did it. And this was the easiest, most efficient way for me, right? Maybe this is the most easiest, efficient way for you. And so that is in the app for people so they can begin to crack their code. And then I want to be there further. So I offer personal coaching for people that want to go even further. And I will construct a diet for them. I will construct a workout plan for them. I will go to the gym and shoot videos specific for them and give them everything, the ins and outs. Because there's some people that have different things that they want. Like you might want a huge chest. Well, guess what? We're going to be doing a lot more chest. You know what I'm saying? Like we're going to be doing a lot more. We're going to be integrating a lot more chest into your work week. And we're probably going to knock back on another muscle group in order to give your body that central nervous system, that ability to go. You know what I mean? So we don't kill you at the end of the day, because that's not what this is about. So this is science, man. Like everything we do is science-based. Everything we do is we dial everyone in when it comes down to science. We make sure that their diets are healthy. We make sure that they're on the right path. There's some people, the reason why we even started this whole thing is that at the end of the day, I just want to help people. And Andy was like, dude, he's like, let me take a drink. Okay, hold on. Sorry.
You're all good.
Sorry, I can talk for like forever. I'm sorry. All right. So the reason why we started this whole thing even was because when I met Andy, he said, are you happy? Like, what are you doing? And I was like, no, man, I'm not happy. Like I thought I was going to be happy doing the sports agent thing because I was like helping fighters, but I was like, nah, man, like I haven't been happy in a very long time, and it's because all I want to do is help people, and I haven't been able to. I haven't been able to help anyone realistically. At the end of the day, it was always money at the handicapping thing. It was always like performing and how can you do better, and man, last week was bad. It never was about really trying to get in there and help people. And the people that I thought I was helping, like the people that would get the biggest ticket items, the one that would text me the most, the ones that were like, hey, like give me a lock. A lot of them were just going and betting that money on something else afterwards. You know what I mean? Like they weren't necessarily going out and buying their family a house. They weren't necessarily, a lot of them were just taking. And so I was just seeing that and feeling completely unfulfilled. You know, like had everyone I helped make money go out and get their family, buy their kids a car and buy their mom a home and all that stuff, man, I'd still be handy. I'd be like, let's go, baby. Like let's roll. Let's buy homes for everybody. Everybody gets a home, right? But that's not what was going on. In actuality, it's just people were just spending that money. I was watching people make, man, fists of money and like take that and then go to horse racing or something that I'm not even good at, something that they're not even coming to me at, and losing all of it and then coming back to me, like replenish my funds. I was like, damn, like this is the life I live now, right? Like it's not fun. And so meeting Andy, and Andy was like, what are you doing? He says, you're done. He said, you're done. He said, you've been helping people transform online for a year, and that's what I've been doing for a year. If you go look at my Instagram, the reason why I post every single day is because people were watching me post, and it was keeping me accountable. After I had met my friends, I was like, well, I'm gonna post every day. You can see fat pictures of me still working out at the gym, looking like I know what I'm doing when I don't. But you can see as the progression happens that I get better and better at it, obviously, and I lose the weight. But online, I was helping people lose weight. I mean, 40, 50, 60 pounds in 2, 3, 4 months, just by helping them crack their code, figuring out a way to scientifically get into their life and be like, all right, what can we apply to you that's going to make you successful, but keep you within a certain diet or certain means that you need to stay into for science? You know what I'm saying? Like, what can we do? What can we do for you? And so there's some people that like, I have some people that are Uber drivers that have to do their complete meal plan off of fast food. And so we have to get in there. See, everybody's got a code. Everybody's different. I have one guy in Australia who, like, when he opens up any item, he's got to finish it. That's what he does. So guess what? Whenever he gets a loaf of bread, we're piecing all that out. You know what I'm saying? We're like, every single time he gets something, we're separating it all out. There's certain techniques and certain things that we do in order to see. That may not have helped for him. Guess what? I don't quit. I don't give up on people. That's why I did this. I did this to help people transform. If you want it, that's the reason why the price is there. The $2.99 price is there. And Andy, let me know. Like, people have to invest in themselves in order to get this thing started. And so at this point, they took away the codes. I can't give it out for free. I try to give it out for free. They all have everything, man. I can't even give it out for free because it's part of the whole transformation thing, man. But at the end of the day, Andy said, quit your job. If you want this, he said, I'll help you. Quit your job. Go all in. I won't let you fail. Your family. Now let's go. I helped you get here, right? Did I help you? And I was like, yeah, you helped me. He was like, let's go then. Let's finish. So, dude, A month ago, quit the handicapping thing completely.
But
Poured my heart into this. Yeah, I mean, poured my heart into this. My daughter has seen people transform online. She has helped people transform herself in her own circle and has said, dude, this is what I want to do. Like, I found my passion here. Like, I want to help people transform. So she's come on and she's like my assistant. She's like, she's actually helping me coach other individuals and do other things. So she's learning and she's going to be doing her own thing. My wife, who is a travel nurse, who's been a travel nurse for a little while now, but has been a nurse for 18 years. I mean, dude, she's put in time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of body bags that nurses have to go through. There's a lot of issues, a lot of problems, a lot of day in and day out just death that nurses have to go through, and certain ones, you know, certain fields. And she's in ICU, and so a lot of times she gets the worst of the worst, you know, patients. So she gets to see all that, and she's been seeing that for 18 years. Like, she's taken a week off and helped us and just grow and just been like, dude, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like, I want to work with my family, and I want to just, I literally, she's the cutest thing ever. She gets off, and we just got done with a couple last night, just meeting with them and talking with them, and she just to watch her pour her heart out, like, she was meant to do this. Like, she was meant to be my CEO. Yeah. She was meant to be a part with me, hand in hand. Like, we're stronger together than we ever were apart. Apart, we fail. Like, it's crazy. Apart, we fail, but together, we do this thing, man. That's called life. I mean, that's why we got into the contract to do it, right? And so she supported me, man. So that's where we're at today. We just launched. Sorry, I just literally just threw everything on you, but that's what I do, man. I'm a lot of energy, ball of energy. So I didn't even let you talk.
I love your energy. No, it's awesome. I love it. So, as you mentioned on earlier, you started off not really knowing what you were doing, and you spent the first 6 months not really losing what you were wanting, and it was tough. I remember the first time I tried losing weight. I was kind of in that boat. I was 220 pounds, and I gave up. I did give up. And then I took a job that required so much travel, so I was eating out all the time. I wasn't being healthy. I went to Limitless Arena, and the very first one, and that was my life-changing moment when I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to lose the weight. I was 265 pounds. As of I'm 203.
Let's go. Come on, baby.
Six pack. It's awesome. But for me, I had to do the research on figuring out the diet and what I needed to do. And for me, what worked was a calorie in versus calorie out, but making sure I was getting my proteins and fats. That, in its simplest form, that was what it was. And tracking what I was eating. Before I wasn't tracking, wasn't getting anywhere. Now, I've almost got a 6-pack now.
Dude, you look amazing. Let's just be honest. You look amazing. I see the pictures of you on social media. You look great, dude. Dude, see? So see, you've done exactly what I did. You cracked your code. Exactly what we do for people, we help crack their code. And there's some people, like right now, like how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? You're 35. You look amazing for 35. You're 35 years old, okay? At 35, you have a certain code. Guess what? At 45, you may have a completely different code. Yeah. As you age, you may have and I have people that come to me when they're 42 and have come to me when they're 43, and they're like, dude, something's changed. Something's different. You know what I mean? In 1 year, I'm like, I don't feel this, you know, things are different. And so, yeah, man, you've cracked your code, you've done it, but keep doing it. Don't give up on yourself. And if things get hard, man, just keep going, man. I know you have that mentality. I can see it in you. You look amazing. What's your end up goal? Like, what's your goal?
So, my goal right now is in September to participate in a bodybuilding competition. No. September 28th is the day. It's the Legions in Reno. So it's like a big one. NPC, men's physique is what I'm.
Are you going to have a booth there? Sorry, I don't know if we're in the podcast anymore. I got to notice.
We're still in the podcast, but yeah, no, I'm not going to have a booth. I'm still working on getting funding for all that, and they actually.
No, understandable.
I also emailed them trying to figure out what I needed to get a booth, and they never responded. So.
Okay, that's understandable. Yeah, well, I mean, if you get one, man, let me know. Let me know what's up. I mean, Maybe we'll travel down there. We'll support you. Well, I mean that sounds like fun. Sorry, I'm always looking for an opportunity to like travel and meet
Oh,
and be with good people. So like, especially if you're doing something big, man, we'd love to support you if we can. You know what I'm saying? If we're not doing anything crazy and if it's in
yeah,
advance, you know. But
I,
we get back into
yeah,
it, man. So no, but you look amazing. You look great.
appreciate it, man. Well, and just since I seen you, I've lost 10 pounds last, and that was
Yeah, you look great.
and now I'm doing jujitsu too. So
Oh yeah, I did see that
yeah, I
online.
just posted the first video yesterday of the jujitsu thing, and uh, he's actually kind of I'm going on with him as a mentor of stuff, and
Oh, cool.
because he went through a struggle. He right after COVID or during COVID, he almost lost his business,
Oh wow.
and he had to turn it around. And now, since COVID, he's opened up 4 more gyms in Nevada.
Oh wow. So he's got it
He got
together,
it
huh?
together. He almost opened up a gym in Salt Lake, but some stuff happened, and you know how it goes. You got to be willing to walk away.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
walked away. Got
I got
got
you.
some other stuff that's in the work, but can't really say it yet. But it's all
Yeah, that's exciting though. I saw the jujitsu. That's awesome. Dude, I remember when I was big. I was funny. It's funny. In my videos, we talk about like hobbies. Like one of the topics that we have is like you got to go out there and find a hobby. And so I encourage people like, hey, have you ever tried jujitsu? Like even the big people in jujitsu. When I was going through, like the little guys wanted to go with the big guys because they're like, dude, like out in public, like everyone out there's big, man. Like I'll roll with the big dude. Like they didn't care, they'll roll with the big dude. They didn't, because a lot of guys they feel like, well, I can't go to jiu-jitsu because I can't roll with these little guys. I'm gonna crush them. I'm gonna be embarrassed. I can't. They're not gonna want to roll with me, dude. You would be surprised. Everyone out there who's not in jiu-jitsu, I'm telling you, you'd be surprised how many good people are out there, how many good people practice jiu-jitsu, and how many people just want to help you. And the weight you will lose from something that you may find enjoyable and fun, guys, I'm
yeah,
telling you, give it a shot. Like, give it a try. You're not going to lose anything. There's another portion of our app where, like, hey, when there's an opportunity, grab it,
yeah,
right? We're literally giving you an opportunity. We're telling you, go out there and go to
yeah.
jujitsu. Go out there and do something. Go out there and do something, man.
And it's fun. That I wasn't so sure, but I went one time and I was hooked. It was all it took was
Yeah.
one time. But that also takes me back to my high school days when I was in wrestling. I loved wrestling, and there's so many similarities.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, different takedowns. Plus, yeah, there's some power takedowns that you could do that they could learn from too. There's a lot of things that there's some ankle picks. There's a lot of things that you could do that they could be like, dang, okay, okay. Because a lot of jiu-jitsu people they have problem taking people down sometimes. You know what I mean? But yeah, you can teach them some stuff and some balance things and show them. Plus, you add that to your arsenal, man. You'll be deadly, dude. You already look like a deadly dude. Like you're lifting constantly every day. Like what are you doing other than your nutrition? Like are you just lifting all the time?
I go to the gym for about an hour a day.
Okay.
Cardio is kind of why I got into the jiu-jitsu because you gotta exercise the heart, but I don't like stair steppers. I don't like treadmills. I don't like running or any type of that stuff.
Okay.
So I had to find something that kind of got your heart rate going, but learning a skill while I was at it because I enjoy learning. I want to
Yep.
learn all the time. So jujitsu was like, that's it.
Dude, that's a great form of cardio too. If you love that and that's your cardio, then hey, dude, do it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
So yeah,
And dude, the grip strength you're gonna get from there too, it's gonna translate to the weight stuff. All the stuff, your forearms are gonna get huge. Like, see, I got tiny forearms, man. Yeah, look at you, jeez. See, I got these little bitty, like little bitty. I'm so long that everything takes so hard to put muscle on. You know what I mean? It's like it's difficult. I'm struggling here,
you're getting
man.
some muscle there, man. You definitely got it. But
I'm trying.
the forearms for me come from being a mechanic though for 16 years.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. I feel you. I feel you.
So,
That's
but
awesome, man.
yeah, it's
So
awesome.
how we doing on time? We doing good?
We're doing good.
Oh, we're doing great.
Yeah, we're doing great. So now we'll kind of move into the business side of everything. How's things going since you started the Martinez Fit? Has it just been blowing up?
Yeah. So the first weekend, it was just crazy. It was a lot of people coming in. There's a lot of inquiry and a lot of like, hey, what's Andy doing on a video with this guy like with all this loose skin? So there was a lot of that, but at the end of the day, we needed people we need people to go to the splash page, the landing page, and just put their information in. Like if you want to transform, put your information there. And what it did was open up a slew of people for me to just send video messages to and encouragement to. And at the end of the day, dude, I don't do this for money at all. Like I swear to you, if someone could give me a credit card and be like, dude, it's not gonna decline at Costco. You can go ahead and go to Sam's and get your chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like, if someone gave me that, I would do this for the rest of my life happily. My day would be full with helping people. And so, yeah, man. So that's sort of like, at the end of the day, that's sort of what we're doing, man.
It's all about helping people. You don't,
yeah.
So, well, that's amazing. That's a hell of a value you're bringing. So,
yeah. So, I mean, not about money at all. It's about helping people crack their codes. And so that first weekend was great. It was about helping people, and then so it gave me a bunch of new contacts to sort of call, and so it was popping in here, and so we got a whole bunch of new people into the app. It was extraordinarily successful, like way more successful than we ever thought. But it was the cases that were behind the app, the purchases that we sort of got into, and that we've been like, dude, there's this one couple that are very local here that are like, dude, I've been looking for you. Like this is what I need. And so we've been able to reach out to them and do more personalized coaching for them. And so helping them out's been great. We have another person who's been on our beta program of our app for 4 months. He's lost 80 pounds in 4 months. We're about to put that testimonial out. And so with the blueprint, we're able to really affect people and help people. But because I am who I am, and I'm not going to give up on anybody. And like, you know, like I said, this isn't about money. It's about helping people transform. I always go above and beyond. So as people come into the app for the blueprint, don't be surprised when you see me in there fixing your macros and doing specific meals for you, and like sending you specific meals that I'm cooking in the kitchen. As we grow, we want to be able to do all that stuff. So like, let's say your favorite thing is goulash. Well, guess what? I'm going to put a goulash recipe on there that's going to be banging. It's going to have the right macros for you. It's going to have the right amount of fat. It's going to have the right amount of protein, and it's going to taste delicious. It's going to be something you've never had before. But in order to do that, we just need to have more people in, man, because it's a living app. Request at Martinez Fit. That's a real thing. People are requesting every single day. We're getting like 30 or 40 requests of people wanting more things. So we want people to get into the app. We want people that really want to transform. Even if you're like, dude, I don't know if I want to buy an app. Like, what is all this? Like, what? Doesn't matter. Put your information in the app to get more information. Let's have a conversation, because at the end of the day, hey, you may not get the app. There's so many people that I've talked to that are like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it on payday, and they always do come through. But at the end of the day, it's like, what can I provide for you right then and there? Like, what kind of value can I provide for you? That's what this is about. This is not about a money thing. This isn't about a guy dropping an app and selling his soul out, and he's got Andy Elliott on there, so he must be like, oh, he must be selling. Nah, it's not about that, man. At the end of the day, Andy literally did this with me, for me, in order to help people. That's the only reason I'm doing this. So get on that, get on our page, look at it, read whatever you want, put on there that you want a custom game plan, and put your info in there. And hey, don't be surprised when you get a 30-minute conversation with me, baby, or a 15-minute conversation where I'm sitting there talking to you about your goals, your hopes, and your dreams. Like I said, at the end of it, you may not want the app, right? But at the end of it, I'm going to make sure I give you something. You're going to walk away losing some weight. You're going to walk away being like, dang, he gave me some tips. I dropped this 15 easy. Because that's what I do, baby. At the end of the day, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
So
the value, exactly. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Love hearing that. And I'm working on getting that myself, trying to provide that to people, which is why I kind of started this podcast, was to get this information out there to everybody. I've had, well, you know, Rob with 1% Fit. He was last week. So
awesome.
Yeah, I just dropped a podcast 2 days ago. So that was awesome. That's so cool. It got cut short, which sucked, but you know, sometimes that happens. I got another one that's going to be dropping this week, right before this one. It was actually on site at my friend's business. She owns Enhanced Wellness, which is PEMF therapy. Do you know what it is?
No. I've heard of it before, but what is it a little bit more?
So it's pulse electromagnetic field therapy. It's like a TENS unit, but it's more. It goes more to the cellular level. It's not just so it uses the electromagnetic field and it pulses it. And I use it because I got shoulder issues. I've had issues for a long time. I use it all the time, and it actually truly helps, because what it does is it gets down deep to the cells, so your body can. It re-energizes the cells so that they can take the nutrients in. the big thing is also getting rid of the waste. So you got to be hydrated while you're doing that. So having water, trying to keep water in. And
I'll have to check that out, man.
Yeah, it's almost every state and city has some sort of PEMF type thing.
I've heard of it, but I didn't know. I don't know. Yeah, the science behind it all the way. I mean, I'll look into it for sure. We're always growing here where what we're doing. So like we have videos on fad diets. We go ahead, we break down carnivore, we break down everything for people, and that's at the end of the day. Like I know you shaking your head. There are people out here like they might be diehard carnivores, but you have to understand our philosophy and cracking your code. Like it's about working within a person's parameters. So if someone really truly believes like, hey, they're getting benefits from carnivore and there's nothing that I can do to tell them like, hey, maybe we should be adding some carbohydrates. Like maybe we could add some fruit, you know what I mean? Maybe we could throw something in there that doesn't mess up your tummy. Mm-hmm. But if I can't even talk sense to them, we'll work with them to help crack their code within the system that they're going to, that they think that's sustainable with them. Because at the end of the day, this is about helping people transform. And you know, someone that's just eating carnivore and not even caring about calories and just in taking 10,000 calories, guess what? You're going to gain weight. Like no matter what you're doing, you're going to gain a lot of weight. So at the end of the day,
you know, that definitely will cause you to gain weight. It's the fats.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, we have a whole like series on fats and break down the fats and how important fat is versus how, you know, it's needed in diets and stuff. And also how many calories, you know, it is per gram of fat versus, you know, protein and carbs, all that stuff. So we go into all that stuff, man. But you're right. But at the end of the day, man, we work with anyone within their parameters. And this is, I'm glad you're doing the podcast. This is awesome. I'm glad meeting you at the Andy event was awesome. It was like divine intervention. It was so weird because when I met you, it was like, I need to just reach my hand out and say hi. Didn't know what and at that time we had spoken maybe for like 3-4 minutes and then someone had taken you off to like do something. And I was like, I'm gonna get with him. I got his number. I'm gonna get something's going, I don't know what, but he seems like a good dude. I'll get with him, right? So like, I'm glad to see you growing. It's great. Hopefully we can both grow, you know, as we continue to get older, you know.
Yeah. And you've actually been a big inspiration for me with
I appreciate
you getting this Martinez Fit going and just watching your videos and everything. It's really been keeping me motivated in a way because every day I see a new video. Day 280 something I think is what you're on your. And it's,
man, I appreciate you. And anyone here who's like interested, go to my Instagram, man. Reach out to me. I am a person that reaches back out. It's so funny. People think I go into Costco and people stop me for pictures now because obviously, you know, in this area, people know me as the guy who lost 200 pounds in a year.
Yeah.
You know, I go out everywhere. I got the Martinez Fit shirt. Everyone knows me. So like, I go out here and I get pictures and everything. But at the end of the day, I'm a real person, dude. Hit me up on social media. I'll hit you back. You know, I have real conversations with people. I'm a guy who lost 200 pounds, who figured it out. And I want to help you figure it out. That's it. At the end of the day, that's all I want to do. I want all this energy I have, all this passion. I want to use it to help you get your dreams, to help you get everything that you want. So that's all I'm about, man.
I want to help people get there too, for sure.
Let's go.
Part of the reason why I started jiu-jitsu too was like, I'm not just about supplements. I'm about making yourself better.
Yeah.
Spending time with your family. Your assistant, your daughter, she's right there with you next to you. Bring her in.
Yep.
Say hi. Bring her on.
Hey, Paris, come here. Oh, she actually doesn't have makeup on. She's like, no. She refuses. Oh no, she doesn't want to come on.
It's all good. Still, you get to work with your daughter now and your wife, so
just put your hand in the way and wave so they can see that you're here. Hey, she's here.
Awesome.
She's right here. Yeah. So I brought my whole family. If you want to know, my CEO, who is my wife, is right next to me too. She was freaking out like, Paris, get in here. What are you doing? You walked away for 3 seconds. So you could hear her laughing in the background. She's here too. Yeah, it's a family affair, dude. And that's the thing. Is like, when I was 430, I was 430 alone.
Yeah.
I was 430 by myself. I was trying to make it as a sports agent alone. And guess what? Didn't work out for me. Especially, it didn't work out for me in those moments when I needed people, when I didn't do well, when I was at my low and I needed someone. Guess what? I didn't have my family there that knew everything I was going through. I didn't bring them along with me. So in essence, like every time I blew up, every time I did anything at all, when it came down to family time, they had no idea why I was blowing up or why I was doing the things I was doing. I never brought them along with me. And here I'm done with that, man. And I'm done. Like I married my wife for a reason. I got into a contract with her. It's like, dude, I'm going to do life with you. I really want to do life with you, realistically, forever. Like that's what I want to do. My kids, I help raise them, and they're watching me do this thing, and I'm watching as they're like my daughter. She edited a ton of the videos, right? Yeah. And we'll be honest here. She walked away again for a second, but she edited a lot of the videos. Well, she was kind of not the most positive person. Well, guess what? Editing these videos, she's completely transformed. She's more positive now. She's coming up to me and be like, "Papi, you down? Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go transform someone's life. Let's go." And I'm like, I'm so exhausted, but I guess we can go. She's like, I'll drive you. I'm like, okay. So like, oh yeah, and my son, and I'll send you the video of my son. So that you know a little bit. So my son, he was diagnosed with autism. He's very high functioning though, but he's not very social. He's just a guy who's like, dude, I like my video games and I like to eat and I like to have my foods and my video games. That's it. He doesn't like when we have all these events, I always try to encourage him like, hey, come with us. And I realized when he was like 10 years old, that I was forcing him to do things and it was causing a rift between us. Like he was just a different dude. He's not a dude that I could be like, you come with me. Like I can't have the same mentality that I needed when I was young. Yeah. It was completely different, right? He's a different person, right? Crack your code. Everybody's code's different. He's different when it comes down to this, but he never really even acknowledged the fact that he's autistic. Like he was always like, yeah, I know I'm different, but like, don't talk to me about that. Like don't worry. I'm not worrying about that. I don't care about people who are autistic. I don't care about people with special needs. That's just how he was growing up. Like he just lived his life. And so in doing this though, yeah, man, he came to me and was like, Papi, I want to be in a video. And I was like, what? I was like, you don't even want to go outside. You don't even know what the sun looks like, man. What are you talking about being in a video? And he's like, Papi, I want to be in a video. And I just want to talk. And I was like, okay. I was like, what are you going to say? He's like, don't worry about it. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. Now he's 16 now. So, he's like, talking stuff. So he's like, okay. I'm like, I'm watching him. I'm like, all right, we're going to do it today, buddy. Today's the day. You're going to shoot whatever you want, whatever you have in your heart. Just say whatever. And I'm watching him, and he's just practicing in his room, and he's just going at it, dude. And I'm just like so proud of him. I don't know what he's gonna say. He's saying random things. I'm like, man, this dude's about to speak in tongues. Get ready, y'all. Like he about to give it because he's just saying some random stuff in his room. Dude, he comes on camera, and we're like, all right, JG, go. And he's like, my name is JG Martinez, and I am the son of Daniel Martinez. And he just went on, man, and was like, people don't think he lost the weight. Well, I've been with him the whole time, and I'm so proud of him, and now he's got abs, and he's just sitting there, and he's so proud of me. He's like, I saw him. I was there every step of the way. He did it. He really did. He was so passionate afterwards. I was like,
Stubbed my toe.
Yeah, my wife, she was in the video too. Poor thing, and she was like, the whole time she was like, you should try not to cry. It's like, girl, why you look like you're in pain? Like, it looks like I was pinching her. I was not. She's just like sitting there twitching, and she's like, it's okay, buddy. Because he's stuttering, he's like doing his thing. But after the conversation, though, he came up to me and was like, Papi, it's like, I'm serious. He's like, what you're doing is amazing. What you're doing is great. I want to come up with a program for people like me. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, what are you talking about, right? And I'm like, I'm getting emotional, right? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I want to make a program for people who are special needs. He's like, remember when we went to the gym? I couldn't do all the machines. I couldn't do everything. Yeah. I'm not the coordination. I couldn't do everything by myself. I need to do certain machines. He's like, what if we built a program for people like me? And I was like,
right.
I feel now.
Dropping a bomb with this information that you're working on something good?
Yeah, man. So we are in the app. We are working on having a special needs program for people who, when it comes down to nutrition, a lot of times stuff is very basic. So we're coming up with a program that they can follow. Anyone with special needs, anyone with autism who's high functioning can follow. But we want to grow, man. We want to get bigger. So my son and I are going to be, in the next 3 months, we're going to be going to the gym. I'm going to be shooting certain gym footage with just him. And it's going to be awesome, man. I'm telling you, taking my family with me. But at the same time, come on, man. Somebody like that coming to me who never even spoke about having autism, who hates even talking about it, is like, I want to make a difference now. Like, I want to do something. I'm watching you shoot these videos, and he's like listening, and he's like, he's Martinez Fit. He's got the name. He's like, I want to definitely do something with this. So yeah, we didn't even know what he was ever going to do because he's like, I want to be a police officer, different things when he was younger, but never really shown interest in anything. And yeah.
That's awesome. You inspired your own son to kind of step out of his comfort and embrace something that he's had his whole life to help somebody, to help other people. That's got to be some of the best fulfillment that you can get. Enjoy. Well, we're about out of time here. We've been at it for an hour. I appreciate you having me or coming on my show, and give everybody your socials and your app and everything. Just how to get a hold of you.
Yeah. So hit me up at the Martinez Fit Group. You've been watching it this whole time. Sorry, it hasn't been a mystery. So Martinez Fit Group on Instagram. Hit me up there. You'll see me and Andy right there, pinned up there. And MartinezFit.com is where we're at. But don't worry about that. Just go on my Instagram. Go on my TikTok. Hit me up there. I'm always there. I always have my apps open. My assistant always has my phone there. It is me. She's always giving it to me. It doesn't matter if I'm talking with someone. If there's someone who needs me, I'm there for you, man. So hit me up on Martinez Fit Group online. And then all there, you'll see my daughter. You'll see my wife. I'll tag everyone, head everyone up. The whole team is getting involved. We have a sales team that's starting to kick up now, and it's getting crazy. So it's going to get nuts. Join the movement now, baby. Join it while it's just starting, because when it gets huge, you're going to be able to say, I knew that dude. I knew that dude right there.
It's the one and only Danny Martinez.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Yeah, let's get there.
Yeah, get it.
All right.
Love it.
Appreciate it. You have a great day, man.
Thanks, man. Got some more work to do, so I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Let me know what drops, and I'll shoot it out wherever I need to, okay?
Yeah, I'll make sure to tag you and everything, so.
All right, brother. Take it easy. Thank you.